Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome on into our Valley News Now desk. I'm Alex Larson. So, if you were tuning in last week, I told you that this is a new thing that we're going to be starting around this same time frame every weekday morning. Basically, what I'm doing is breaking down whatever we had going on this morning, as well as what we have ahead of us for the day ahead. So, we're going to hop right into it. One man was arrested in Fargo yesterday after police say he caused a disturbance. I'm going to pull up that video for you here. This was outside the old Broadway. They said that disturbance involved a firearm. According to police, they responded to the old Broadway shortly after 12:30 a.m. But they say when they got there, the suspect and victim had already left. Later that morning, officers were responding to a local hospital where they found the victim who was receiving treatment for non-life-threatening injuries. There's no evidence of a gunshot wound on the victim. And Fargo police did identify that suspect as 28-year-old Daniel Scott. I'm going to bring up his mugshot for you here. At 12:30 p.m., police found and arrested Scott without incident. He was arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and aggravated reckless endangerment, as well as felon in possession of a firearm and violation of a protection order. Now, this incident is still under investigation. We'll continue to keep you updated online and on air with what we know when we know it. So we're going to move on here. There was a 45-year-old Sawyer, Minnesota man who was arrested after a standoff in Carleton County. Now, this happened yesterday. Carleton County Sheriff's Office was called around 4 p.m. That was for a report of a man who shot himself while cleaning a gun. When the police department got to the scene, William Wise Jr. was reportedly screaming out of the house window and then fired his gun, uncertain if the shots were directly at officers. But they did set up a perimeter and called surrounding law enforcement for aid. No one was hurt during that incident, but Wise Jr. is currently being held at the Carleton County Jail on several charges. Incident is under investigation. Now we're moving on to a story we've been following pretty closely here. We have new information after several media outlets submitted a Freedom of Information request to the North Dakota Bureau of Criminal Investigation. So what that was for, it was for the files in the case against former Senator Ray Holmberg. If you remember, he was just sentenced pretty recently here to 10 years in prison. The documents do detail email exchanges Holmberg had with people about having sex with prostitutes and minors. Our Valley News team's Harrison Prey broke it all down for us. I'm going to pull up his story right here in just a moment.
That's correct. A lengthy file details that former Senator Ray Holmberg went to numerous countries for sexual encounters, including Germany, London, Slovakia, Hong Kong, and Prague, as well as other locations. The 92-page file also details email exchanges from Holmberg about the sexual encounters, including former North Dakota lawmaker Nicholas Hacker and founder of the UND Center for Innovation, Bruce Jovic. Hacker served on the North Dakota Board of Higher Education for 8 years. The report includes from Holmberg telling Hacker about the sex he had with a male prostitute while he was in Taiwan, and that Holmberg emailed Jovic saying, quote, "No one is ever too young. Remember Prague?" End quote. In another conversation, investigators found that Holmberg told UND professor Nathan Reese about his grooming and abuse of a UND student in Prague. Holmberg pled guilty to a federal charge of certain activities relating to material constituting or containing child pornography and traveling or conspiring to do so in interstate or foreign commerce for the purpose of engaging in any sexual act. According to the court documents, Holmberg is also accused of soliciting teens attending Grand Forks Central High School and the University of North Dakota in exchange for money or hockey tickets. In March of 2025, Holmberg was sentenced to spend 10 years in prison.
And that was Harrison Prey reporting for us. Now, the North Dakota University System released the following statement. We've read the recent reporting regarding former Senator Ray Holmberg with a deep sense of sadness. We feel despair for the victims and their families and shock that individuals connected to the State Board of Higher Education or North Dakota University System may have had knowledge of Holmberg's conduct. So we're going to move on here. I'm going to show you something over on our website. So if we're going to head on over to valleynewslive.com, we have covered Holmberg's case pretty extensively here. So this is one of the most recent stories that we've posted. You can check that out here. We've got the video attached up there. If you scroll down on this page, you can see all of the old stories that we have leading up to this one that we published last night. So lots of information there if you want to go read up on that. Again, you can read that full report on our website, valleynewslive.com, or else, as always, you can just download our VNL News app. We've got them posted there as well. And we got a heads up for drivers. Red River Structure Repair Project, that's kicking off tonight along I-94. Starting overnight, traffic will be slowed near 8th Street in Moorhead, while I-94 will be reduced to one lane as crews work. Closure is expected to be in place through May. DOT says the work is needed to extend the lifespan of the bridge connecting Fargo and Moorhead. Now, the full project, that's not expected to be done until about October, but they will continue to work on that. Heading on over across the border, Vancouver police ruling out terrorism in a car ramming attack that killed 11 people at a Filipino heritage festival. I'm going to pull up that video for you here. Now, dozens of other people are hurt, some seriously, as the ramming shook the country before a federal election. So a man driving a black SUV entered the street just after 8 p.m. Saturday and hit people at the festival. A Vancouver man was arrested, and we're going to take a listen to someone involved with that crash.
From like the start right there, he just pushed the gas all the way through the whole block right there, crashing into like everyone in his way.
So Vancouver Police Steve Ray also added during a press conference, it's the darkest day in Vancouver's history. And we will continue to bring you coverage of that on Valley News Live. You can, of course, stay tuned over there. Moving on, we do have a First Alert Weather Day on our hands. As many of us know, we've been covering that pretty extensively this morning. So we're going to head on over to our website again, all right? I'm going to pull you on over to valleynewslive.com. We're going to head on over to the weather tab here, okay? And it looks like, yep, 2 rounds of storms overnight, Monday night. We're going to head down here and go on over First Alert. The headlines here looks like storms in southeast North Dakota, Red River Valley, Lakes Country. Our First Alert Storm team has been working very hard to keep you updated with what you need to know as we take this on. But we've also got some safety tips with our first round of severe weather this season. We do want to make sure you're prepared with a First Alert safety plan. So the American Red Cross says it's important to remember that thunderstorms, they can bring high winds, thunder, lightning, and damaging hail. And as meteorologist Lisa Green was telling us this morning during the Valley today, these storms could produce those conditions. With certain conditions, they can also bring powerful winds that can knock down trees, causing power outages, and intense rainfall can also cause flash floods, tornadoes, and storms. That can bring lightning that can possibly even spark fires. Now, here's a few important things to remember, too. Get inside a sturdy building before the storm hits. Make sure your kids are prepared. You can do that by practicing drills so they know what to do when that time comes, if it comes. Also, plan to stay connected. Make sure you got your VNL weather app handy for forecasts and updates and information, all right in the palm of your hand. You can also sign up for safety alerts in your area. You do also want to be prepared to potentially be living for a little bit without power, gas, and water just in case. Have a backup plan there, some bottled water, stuff like that. You're also going to want to make sure you have a way to charge your cell phone and any medical devices or equipment. And again, make sure you're downloading that VNL weather app, especially as we're heading into the severe weather season. Again, our First Alert Storm team works very hard to keep you in the loop, in the know with what you need to know to keep you and your family safe. Well, that's about all I got for you on this First Alert Weather Day. Again, our team is working very hard to keep you updated. You can follow along with their coverage on the VNL Weather app, our website, or tune on into our shows. For now, I'm Alex Larson for the Valley News Now desk. We're going to see you right back here tomorrow. Stay dry out there, please.